Side hand. I was surfing in Florida, and the waves weren't anything. So basically, I was sitting on my board. I wasn't actually catching anything. And the wave, the wave, it wasn't a wave. It was just a swell. And I went up and over the swell, and I rode down the backside of the wave, and it clicked. Your hand on the outside of the pot is like being on a surfboard on the backside of a wave, and you ride the backside of the wave in. But this hand on the outside has to stay in position here because it's too close at the very beginning of the pull. So leave that hand there. The inside hand starts moving up. Now the outside hand starts following it up in the pull. So for years, I was too close together with my hands at the beginning of the pull. So it's a hard thing to do, to wait for the right moment to start that outside hand's motion up the pot. But that's what this buddy of mine next to me out on the wheel was doing. His outside hand, he's throwing half a bag of clay. It was probably this thick after he'd opened it up. He had a long wait before that outside hand would start its move up the cylinder. And that allows that, if we use the term, wave to develop. So he's not pushing in on the top of that swell. He's pushing at the bottom of it as you move up. Now this will be more emphasized here, so I'm going to really push outwards. The outside hand stays there, the inside hand starts moving. Now I start coming in behind it. And you can move an awful lot of clay in a real hurry by doing that. I also ride my thumb on the rim as much as I can, and it keeps the rim of the pot from wobbling as much. Sponge. Another trick to get a lot of clay height out of your piece is, at this point, go from using your fingers or a sponge on the outside to switching over to a wooden rib. So I'll block this up straight up and down. Okay, I've got my cylinder established. Don't leave a large area of clay coming off the wheel head if you want to get the lead out of the bottom of your pots. If you have clay rolling off over here to the wheel head an inch away from the bottom of the pot, you can't actually start pulling at the bottom of the pot. Your hand will scoop up and then start pulling a long time later. So clean it up right to the wheel head. Push in underneath just a little bit to establish a place for your finger to start its pull. Another thing is slow down. Beginning potters love the speed of their wheel, and they get themselves into a whole lot of trouble. You can keep in control of your pot much better by slowing the wheel down than by speeding it up. Okay, I'll moisten this down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to go in. I'm going to block up against my inside hand's going to push out against this wooden rib, and it's going to start upwards, and then I roll this wooden rib underneath and then lift, pull, and it really dramatically moves a lot of clay. And right here I'm just about straight across from my fingers, and I'm not pulling hard. Everybody can pick on the top 1/3 of your pot and pull it. It's this section through here that's hard to get all the clay out of the wheel. So I really back off on the top third of my pots, and it ends up being fairly similar in thickness. Our technique, again, benefits from a smooth surface on the pot. So I'm going to make one more pull here to get a little bit of height, but I'm going to actually put shape into the pot. I call this a shaping pull. So slow down. dampen it up. And I'm driving in underneath the pot. The pot is becoming narrower as I do my pulls at the bottom. And I'm going to start flaring outwards, and I roll outwards with the wood tool. And then I relax and start moving back inwards with it. And I'll start narrowing the neck a little bit.
Charlie, do you leave your cylinders different widths at different places?
No,
so
I
you
don't.
bulge them out, you keep it even?
It would probably be a better idea, since I'm going to flare this out into a round shape, if you were to make these and leave a little bit more thickness in here, but I don't seem to bother with it.
And you don't use a throwing stick over?
Once in a while, it's according to what shape I'm doing. If I can get this out of this, there it is. Okay, these will hurt you, because when you use these, especially this flat edge on clay, it's like polishing it on a diamond polisher. So be very careful with this edge. Now when I first buy one of these, I take it out of the package and it'll have burrs and spurs and stuff on it. And I have a little sharpening stone and I'll grind it and get all the rough spots off, because it'll be putting lines all up and down the pot when you first get it. It would take me 2 or 3 weeks to get one just about right, until I realize I ought to just sharpen it ahead of time. So anyway, slowing down the wheel again. Damp sponge on the inside just to keep it from chattering. I go all the way to the bottom and I start outwards just a little bit, and then I'll cup it and smooth it with this rib. And you can see that I'm almost there with the smoothness, that one move. Okay, I'm pushing out at the bottom again. The inside of the pot should reflect the curvature of the outside of the pot. When your mental image of what the pot should look like on the outside, the inside of the pot should be the thing that you try to get that shape to mirror. Because if you don't, if you make the outside of the pot exactly the shape on the wheel that you want it to be, and you got to trim it because there's too much junk in the bottom, then you're going to trim that pot out of the shape that you wanted it to be. But if you make the inside of the pot the mirror of what you want the outside of the pot to be, then when you trim it, it becomes the pot that you want it. It reaches its fullest potential.
Did you say that one more time?
I hope not.
It's like Terry.
It had me confused. Now I'm not picking on the rim of the pot because I can deal with that later. I'm just trying to get the body of the pot. Go ahead and shut down. I'm going to go see if I can get a torch together. Okay.